We've finally come to the part where we're ready to register our domain name. What is a domain name? Domain names are the friendly naming system for giving addresses to web servers and web pages. Somewhat like international phone numbers, the domain name system gives every server a memorable and easy to spell address while hiding the technical IP address, which most of us aren't really interested in. So if you look at your example at the bottom of the screen, it's an IP address 170.149.161.130. That's the IP address for the NewYorkTimes.com. As you can see, NewYorkTimes.com is way more easier to remember than the IP address. Top-level domains, or TLDs, refer to the last segment of a domain name or the part that follows immediately after the dot symbol. TLDs are mainly classified into two categories: generic TLDs and country-specific TLDs. Examples of some of these popular TLDs include .com for commercial business, .org, organization nonprofit, .net, network organizations, .gov, government agencies, .mil, military, and .edu for educational institutions. Registering your domain name is a relatively easy process. Once you have settled upon a website name, you can go to one of the accredited registrars and check the availability of the domain name. A registrar is the company that handles domain name registrations. This is not to be confused with web hosting companies, although many companies may be a registrar and web host at the same time. Web hosting companies will provide you with the web space, a location to save your files, an IP address, tools to build your website, and usually offer domain names and email services as well. You've registered your domain and you are ready to go ahead and create your website, but you need somewhere to store the files. You need web hosting. Web hosting is a platform where you can store your websites. Normally, when we talk about web hosting, that term, it refers to the servers that host your website or the hosting company that's renting that server space to you. You can host your own website, but this will take some equipment and a lot of programming knowledge. But with a little bit of effort and a lot of, concentration on it, this could be well worth it as an extra means of money because you can host websites on your server. That hosting fee can be charged monthly or annually, and that's just money coming in that you really didn't have to do any work for. Let's talk about the different types of hosting. Generally, there are 4 different types of web hosting: shared, virtual, dedicated, and cloud hosting. While all types of hosting servers will act as a storage center for your website, they differ in the amount of storage capacity, control, technical knowledge requirement, server speed, and reliability. So let's cover some of them. Let's start with shared hosting. In shared hosting, your website is placed on the same server as many other sites, ranging from few to hundreds and maybe even thousands. Typically, all domains may share a common pool of server resources, which is the RAM and the CPU. Cost on this is low, and most websites with moderate traffic levels running standard software are hosted on this type of server. Shared hosting is also widely accepted as the entry-level hosting option as it requires minimum technical knowledge. VPS hosting is a virtual private server hosting. Divides a server into virtual servers, which each website is like hosted on their own dedicated server, but they're actually sharing a server with a few different other users. The users may have root access to their own virtual space and better secured hosting environment. Dedicated hosting. A dedicated server offers the maximum control over the web server. Your website is stored on. You exclusively rent an entire server. Your website is the only website stored on that server. So this could be a way you could actually run your site where someone else is kind of responsible for the uptime, but you're still getting a lot of that under the hood before you go into your own server space. And then finally, we have cloud hosting. Cloud hosting offers unlimited ability to handle high traffic or traffic spikes. Here's how it works. A team of servers called a cloud work together to host a group of websites. This allows multiple computers to work together to handle the high traffic level or the spikes for any particular website. So, you have several different options for hosting plans, and do your research. Selecting a web host for your website is an important and at times daunting undertaking. Beyond finding which web hosts are out there, it's a matter of digging through different plans, comparing inclusions and checking customer reviews and looking at your features. So, the best way to pick the right hosting is to know your hosting needs. Investigate on host reliability and uptime guarantees. Anything below a 98.99 is unacceptable. Study web host upgrading options. Check all hosting features. And check on your prices, because initially a lot of companies offer you a sign up discount, but then what is the fee once we're going for renewal? Check the hosting of the control panel. What features are offered there? And look up other supporting features. Find out how you can upgrade over time. Find out, do the plans and features that they offer help with the development of your site? If you're deciding to hold a WordPress site, does this hosting service include that feature?